Hello and welcome back to the channel, and you join me on what is actually quite a significant milestone. On the day that this video is due to be released, we will have been in this house for exactly 6 months to the day. So that has gone rather quickly. This still feels like a new house to us. We're still very aware that there is lots that needs doing, but we have also achieved quite a lot in that time. And that actually is the subject for this video, because what I want to do is take a look back at all of the things that we have done in the last 6 months. And that is as much an exercise for us as it is for you, because what we found so far with this renovation is that we're constantly looking ahead to all of the things that still need to be done. And we don't really take the time to look back at all of the things that we've achieved. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reference the very first video that we made on this channel, which was when we just got the keys and we walked into the house for the first time and saw just what a mess it was. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to overlay some new commentary over the top of that and then show you everything that's changed from that original video. But actually what I would suggest is that you go back and watch that video in its entirety first, because that will give you a good foundation and then you'll understand better what has changed. So the link for that is there, go and watch that now. And at the end of that video, there will be a link back to this video, and hopefully YouTube should remember your place. So you should start back right here, and then we can just jump in and look at what we've done. So without further ado, let's jump into it.
There's a chub lock, but no chub lock key.
Interesting. Oh wow, that definitely needs doing. So of course the first change here is that we now have our brand new double glazed windows installed and the new front door. Quite an improvement over the horrible rickety wooden thing, and a lot more secure as well. And we've also installed a nice little slate door number. And of course we've put up some guttering over the top of this porch so that we don't get wet every time we come into the house when it rains. We're in. Here we go. First entry into the house. Just look at how filthy that carpet is. I mean, these carpets are still not perfect by any means, but we scrubbed them to within an inch of their lives, and they are looking a lot better than they did when we first walked in here. So the lounge is looking quite a lot nicer now. We've got rid of that awful colour on the walls, which we nicknamed Smoker's Magnolia. It really made the room feel very dingy and small, and putting it back to white has really opened it out quite considerably. So we've also moved the radiator from the back wall to the side wall. That's in readiness for the entertainment unit that we're going to build there at a later date. And we've got a nice new light fitting, and that original light fitting is now in our upstairs hallway. Oh wow. Yeah, that definitely needs looking at. So there's still quite a lot to be done in the kitchen/dining area. We need to still paint in there, and of course all of those kitchen units will have to come out at some point. But we have done some little things. We put up some lighting and some curtains and some new little storage boxes in the kitchen. We've also got all new appliances in there, including an oven now, which is the latest purchase, which unfortunately now that that's installed you can see just how crooked the worktops are. But yeah, it's manageable.
How overgrown this is.
Yeah,
that's dead the last time we were here.
That's mad. So the garden is probably where we've put in the most amount of hours so far, and it is looking a lot better than it was. We've more or less mastered the Virginia creeper, although it does keep popping up in various places. And of course we managed to get rid of the fish pond at the back, which is quite a massive improvement. So there's still a lot more to do there, but things are more or less suspended now until spring, when we'll pick things up again and continue our plans. It's quite a big difference, isn't it? Oh God. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, actually it does smell. Oh, it's very damp in here. So not a huge amount has happened in here really. This is going to be a job for next year. But I have added the tarpaulin over the top of the roof to stop the water getting in and let the damp dry out a bit. I've also removed all of the old plasterboard and insulation panels from the ceiling because they were all in a terrible state. At the moment, this is just a storage shed, but once I can get round to replacing the roof, then I can move forward with turning this into my studio. Right, let's go up. mean, you were right, the carpets are filthy. We were right about the carpets being filthy. So as I mentioned earlier, these carpets are still far from perfect and definitely need replacing, but you can see here the difference that a good scrub with a carpet cleaner and regular hoovering can actually make. So not too much has happened in this room at the moment, but I have put up some temporary shelving to store some boxes that we don't need for the moment. But this will be a project for later down the line once we have the second bedroom converted into a guest bedroom. So eventually this will be the main guest bedroom, but at the moment I'm using it as my temporary office/studio. All I've really done in here is put some paint on the walls and set up some of my kit, but I haven't really gone too crazy with it because this is not the final use for the room. Oh god, these floors are so squeaky. So the bedroom is the space that we are the least happiest with at the moment. It really is a bit grim in here. But we have added a bit of extra lighting to try and brighten it up a bit. And we did install the ceiling fan, which is really nice when it's hot. But we still have no proper wardrobe in here, and we really need to paint and change curtains and do various other things. There's a pull string inside as well.
Oh, so that must be for the light.
Oh, that's for that. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm going to need a shower here to go, so...
Okay, it's going to spray everywhere.
Well, help me then.
Just take it off the hook first. So I think the most dramatic transformation so far has been here in this bathroom. It really was so depressing and horrible in here when we moved in. Obviously, this is not a full bathroom renovation, and at some point we're going to pull everything out again and redo it from scratch. But this has really made quite a dramatic transformation to how this space feels in the meantime. Hole in the ceiling.
I thought you said there wasn't a tank.
I didn't think there was a tank. So we now have our fancy new combi boiler up in the loft, and that has made a huge difference to the quality of our showers. As well as our bills, actually. They've gone down dramatically. And we've also been able to get rid of all the header tank stuff in the loft. So now the next job here will be to remove all the rest of this platform, and then we can use it for storage, which will be very handy. So after 6 months, how do I feel about our progress? Well, to be quite honest, considering we've had quite serious limitations in both time and money, and also the fact that we've had to live in this house while we've been working on it, I think we've done all right. Obviously, there is some pretty major stuff still to be done, but that is part of the journey, and if it was all done at the beginning, then what would we do with ourselves for the rest of our time? But I think the biggest transformation has been in how we feel about the property. When we first moved in, there was all of the weight of the work hanging over us, and we felt a little bit overwhelmed and not very inspired. But as we've slowly been ticking off little jobs here and there, we are starting to feel a little bit of pride in the place. You know, we're happy to have people around for dinner or for drinks or whatever, and it now feels like a nice place to come home to. So yeah, overall pretty happy, but of course there's plenty more for us to get our teeth into and to share on this channel, which is all good. But if you're looking at all these things that we've had to fix and all of these problems that we've had, and you're wondering why we bought this property in the first place, well then I suggest you go and watch this video, because that will explain our ethos and our mindset behind why we chose this particular property. So until the next one, thanks very much for watching.